Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for morning.
Welcome to the Morning Glory Show. Good morning to you. It is the 21st day of February 2023. My name is MC Kalia, and this is the most comprehensive talk show in Kenya today. And being Tuesday, it is an expert Tuesday. And with us in studio are two gentlemen, Tom Juma and Joseph Chumba. Both of them are from the ASK Eldoret National Show. And this year's event is happening in a few weeks' time. It should be between the first day and the fourth day of March, and they're here today to just make sure that we really understand what exactly is awaiting us. Of course, this is an event that usually pulls a lot of crowds, a lot of exhibitors, and we would really want to know what exactly should we expect. But then before we go there, allow me to remind you that we are coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. Dawi Afrique Photography is situated in Eldoret, Zion Mall, basement A. So anytime you're within this region and you need somebody to document your memories, then consider working with the Dawi Afrique Photography. Remember that this particular broadcast is coming live from our studios, and Tom, when he gets a time to introduce himself, will confirm to you that he's a very family-friendly studio. Nonetheless, also, iwapo ungependa kung'ara, consider walking into D-Square. D-Square fashion house wanahakisha kwamba unang'ara. But then, beyond that, now they have a school. There is D-Square School of Fashion Design and Tailoring. So if you'd want to actually know how to dress people to be addressed, consider studying from D-Square School of Fashion Design. Both D-Square School of Fashion Design and D-Square Fashion House are situated at the 4th floor of KTS building, Eldoret CBD. Now, right into it, as I told you, we have two gentlemen. We have Tom Juma and Joseph Chumba. So allow me to start with Bwana TJ. TJ, say hi to our viewers.
Yeah, good morning, viewers. It's good to be here in the Morning Glory Show after such a long time. Najua umenitafuta sana.
I've been looking for you sana.
Yeah, so actually within the Eldoret ASK, the national show, Arena is where we do entertainment and the program, the official program, and also part of the marketing department. Yeah, so we are here.
Okay, karibu.
Wait, by the show next week, not even a couple of days, it's actually next
week.
Yeah, so it starts from Sunday when we do the Harvest Festival, but we shall be telling in a short while what that is. But the show is actually next week, so if you are ready, start preparing now, because here we are.
Of course, and that is exactly what we'll be talking about. We really want to understand what is awaits us. I know watoto wa shule wanangoja ile mtu bila kichwa. But there is more serious things than that, and that is exactly what we are going to look at.
Mtu bila kichwa is very serious.
Allow me to give a chance to Bwana Chumba.
Bila hiyo.
Karibu sana.
So, good morning everybody. So first and foremost, I'm very excited. I'm happy. This is my first time to be with you guys. And I'm so happy that we can now get into business. So, okay, about the ASK is that it's actually around the corner. And I think everybody is ready for that particular exercise. Me, I come from the department of the Committee on Marketing and Protocol. So, otherwise, we have a lot to tell you today. Yes.
And maybe before we go far, I'll just still come back to you about the national show. You notice that you do shows all over the country.
Yes.
But then so many people don't really have a small history of where did the agricultural society come from? How did it start even hosting these shows? And what exactly is the impact of a show in a particular town? Because you see a lot of people, it attracts a lot of people, but then what exactly is the impact of having a show come to your town?
Okay, you see, first and foremost, it is very informative. It brings together the business community, the farmers, and even the students and that kind of stuff. So you realize that it has a whole spectrum of very educative ventures. You realize that when you enter the show right away, you learn a lot that are new. Others it impacts a lot on the development of the people of our county and the country at large. So it really means a lot to be at ASK stands. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, and I'll be going back to Mzee TJ. Umesema kichwa bila mtu is an important aspect of the
There are things when you talk about the show, it has to be the show. Especially for children or kids or the young ones. First of all, they want to see your kichwa, mtu bila kichwa. And then the merry-go-round, the trampolines, everything about children has to be there. And anything unique that the children look for. Now, Eldoret National Show, now we have different types of shows. We have the International Trade Fair, which is just in Mombasa and Nairobi. And then we have the national shows, which are usually Nakuru, Eldoret.
I've seen Nyeri.
Nyeri. Kitale was also introduced recently. Those ones usually take 4 days. The international ones take a whole week, 7 days. These national ones just take 4 days. And then we have the regional ones, Kama, Kabarnet, Nandi. Those ones are regional shows. And those ones are, including Kakamega. So they take 3 days. And then we have the usual trade fairs. The trade fairs ni zile unaona hapo UOE, Eldoret Polytechnic. Those are trade fairs. Or within institutions. And also you have the farm shows. Zile za shambani, unaenda kwa shamba ya mtu, they want to display something. So Eldoret National Show is actually on the calendar as the first show. Always. In ASK calendar.
So that means that's the reason it usually happens within March and
Yes.
Around March there.
Around March. And then which follows with Embu. But this year Embu will not be having it. So I think after that we head to Meru and the rest. So being the first county, of course, it's the first show. Remember during COVID in 2020, we were the only ones who had the show. Because immediately we finished, the following week, there was a lockdown. And then last year, we actually didn't expect, but out of nowhere, it was decided, okay, if you guys can conform with the COVID protocols, why can't you have the show? So we went ahead. We were the first ones again to start the show. So the turn-up may not have been so satisfactory last year, but this year, like as per now, we have over 150 exhibitors. Remember last year we had 80 exhibitors.
So that's like almost double.
That's double. Course, yeah. So you can expect what is going to be there. And of course, with the theme, issues to do with climate smart agriculture, there's definitely going to be a lot of new things in terms of innovation and anything that addresses climate smart. So we're starting on Sunday. So Sunday is usually mostly for what we call a harvest festival, where we go to thank God and pray for the good show, the show that is upcoming. So most people usually bring their harvests. Like you can donate what you have from yourself. If you don't have anything to harvest, just bring money or anything. Now, these proceeds go to children homes after that, because even for us as ASK Show, we always do CSR activities. And whatever you give on that harvest festival, which is happening on Sunday at PCA Ayub Kinyo Church, that is where we start thanking God from there as we pray for the show. So we usually have a band, mostly NYS band, comes here, we do a procession in town, and then we go to church, and then we pray. Then on Monday...
Of course, before you go to Monday, let me take Bwana Chumba towards the theme. Your theme for this year is quite an interesting one. Everyone is talking
Very
about climate change. Bwana Chumba, promoting climate smart agriculture and trade initiatives for sustainable economic growth. Now, let me split this into two. Promoting climate smart agriculture. We come from a region where, for a long time, we've been called the breadbasket of Kenya. Yes. Now, we expected rains around this time. Yes. We're not seeing the rains. The other season, we actually saw the rains throughout the year, and somehow the climate change was kind of favoring us. What exactly informs your choice of theme for this year? Let's start with the climate smart agriculture bit. How are you going to use the show to make sure that we achieve a climate smart environment?
Thank you very much. It's a very good question. You realize that we expect rains. We expect the rains as early as March. But so far so good, you can see that we still have a long way to go before we get the rains. That one becomes a very serious challenge because we cannot promote, we cannot say that we want to go farming, yet at the end of the day, we do not have rains. So we've identified challenges that we are facing as Kenyans to an extent that we may not be in a position to get rains early. So first and foremost, the issues of afforestation. The impact is so severe that we need to plant trees. We need to educate our people on the importance of keeping the environment to be as useful as much as possible. So the president has always stood with the initiative that we need to plant as many trees as possible to ensure that our environment is favorable for farming. So that one is to the context in the sense that we would wish to expound as much as possible that other than going to the farm alone, what are the challenges that are associated with the drought and maybe little water within our catchment areas, water catchment areas. So we need to go into to address those particular issues and try as much as possible to see the real impact of our community becoming friendly. Friendly, that is farming friendly. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And now TJ will take us to the second part of it before we actually come back to understanding now what will be happening each day. Now let's look at promoting trade for sustainable growth. TJ, what exactly and how are you going to use the show to make sure that because of course you have a lot of exhibitors, but then at the end of it all, ukiingia pale show, the arena is usually so busy. Then you always also notice that on this other side there's a lot of business going on and all that. How do you strike the balance to make sure that we stick to the theme, continue to make sure that these people understand the spirit behind the show? Because most of the activity in terms of sensitization usually ukiobserve ina happen kwa arena. So how do you strike that particular balance?
All right, thank you so much. You know, the show, when it comes to the theme, when we go around looking for these exhibitors, most of the time we go to them and tell them this is the theme. And the exhibitors who think they can conform to the theme are the ones who usually come for the show. Now remember, like I just told you earlier, is that Monday is preparation now, the real preparation, the final touches, the painting, the repairs are done. And then you find Tuesday the judges come in. You know, before the show is done, there's a pre. So during
the judges
the pre,
now come.
The judges come in. And these judges, which are under the trade committee, they come and go around each of the stalls. If Very Nice has a stall, we need to find out, have they conformed to the theme? What do they have? Have they, like, interpretation of the theme? Have you done it well? So each one of them, except wale wanauza soda. But the rest, of course, na watoto. Yeah, wale wakuza soda, those ones are a different department, which is, it's okay. Hao wanafanya biashara. But companies like Very Nice and kina Dawi here, they need to have a theme that is well interpreted. And the judges go and give you marks. And that is why during the official opening, on the third day, we usually have trophies being awarded to the best.
So this is something that happens in the background before even the general public now comes in.
Yes. Although the public is also allowed to come, but your time hata hawataona, because these guys are moving around each stall one by one. And you know, when they move around, they also select, okay, this one was very nicely done. I think when the president comes, anafaa aone hii. So they start from the county. You know, the county ndio ya kwanza, the stall ya kwanza kwa barabara. Then they keep moving, they reach Kenya Seed, and of course, you know, Kenya Seed is always there. They are always good in what they do. Wapite. And we have different categories, and these categories have to conform to that theme. The media department, Very Nice, mtakuja lini?
Nakuja bwana, sisi tuko bwana.
I've seen only our friends Sayare ndio wanakuanga that, because they are the only ones who come to showcase. So the media department is there, the best even, the best in terms of industry, the best in terms of, we have categories over like 50 categories, different trophies. So the theme interpretation is very, very important. When you talk about climate smart agriculture, we need to see everything in relation to that theme. Otherwise, the rest is just for your own display, unless ulikuja to show because ulikuwa unataka kuja. But I swear nobody wants to come to the show for the sake of coming.
Nobody is coming there. Okay, I know sales would come in as an addition, but then the first bit of it is actually about conforming to the theme.
Yes, that is a very, very important thing, because in all the shows, there's no need of going unless you want to do business. You better conform to the theme because you also want to win. It would be very nice when you come hapo mbele and the president calls your name to come and pick the trophy. Even those with cows, the dairy department, ng'ombe zikoko from different places, Chebororwa, ADC, Kitale, siji wapi, zote zinakuja hapo, and they are all, even sheep are there, even nguruwe, and they'll be paraded there in front of the chief guest on that day. So the theme has to be there, including even the animals themselves. We need to see how you, with your animals, you're conforming to that theme. And that is going to happen on Tuesday, just before the show starts. So after that, now when we kick off the show, ni sasa wananchi kuingia, and those want to go with the children and all that. But remember, day one is usually a business day for business people. Most of the time you go around, then we have day 2, day 3, the official opening, and then the final day, which is day 4, is mostly for families because it's a weekend. And you had talked about schools initially. The schools usually come to learn a lot of things. Yeah, there are business classes, and kuna wale wa agriculture, those doing agriculture. Even home science. So they all want to come there and see what they can learn, because we have a kibanda cha 4K club. And unakumbuka 4K club?
Nakumbuka 4K club. Tulipanda
kuinua kusaidia Kenya.
Tulijenga inchi.
Tulijenga inchi.
Inchi tumejenga.
So 4K club is still there, by the way. Kona kibanda. And then we have companies like Kenya Seed. You know, the reason why I'm mentioning Kenya Seed is because there's a time, we have reached a time in Kenya where the land is very important, and people have very little pieces of land, and utilizing the land to get maximum yield has become so tough. So Kenya Seed and guys like the forest department, they can show you clearly that with a small piece of land, you can get high yields, different types of crops by doing horticultural farming. Maize, cabbages, sunflower, everything within one small piece, like ile growing sukuma wiki in a sack. That one is very possible. Hata kwa plot saizi huku mtaani, you can easily do that and you won't have to struggle to buy. So that technology is what people are coming to look at the show. And climate smart means angalia vile jua inawaka. So we need something that is going to help so that wakati jua inawaka hivi, how do we adapt?
Because we must actually be sustainable in terms of food production.
Exactly. So unless we sustain ourselves, look at the way the climate is changing and let's adapt to it. So it has to be climate smart. And you find now those are the things people are coming to see. Now, what if it rains again heavily? What will we be doing? So these are some of the dynamics that the Eldoret National Show is trying to address, so that anyone coming there, you won't go back and regret, including those who are coming for entertainment. Of course, you'll be entertained.
Of course, we'll be coming to the entertainment bit, but then before we come there, let me remind my viewers that we're coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography, situated in Eldoret, Zan Mall, at a place called, or rather, at the basement A of Zan Mall. Actually, Zan Mall has 3 basements. There's basement A, B, C. But then ukiingia just at the ground floor, naulize basement A, or even ask for Dawi Afrique Photography, somebody will be sure enough to show it to you. Now, let me sample a few of the comments you're getting in. Ambassador Alfred Sargent, all the way from Sydney, Australia. Tumezoea tukimwona Path. Kusoja karibu niseme Path. Juu nimezoea tu nikiona jina lake nasema Path. But then now today watching from Sydney, Australia. Good topic. Thank you so much. Ribon Neema says good morning. Tuned in from Kapsaret. Okay. Faith Cherop saying good morning. Following up from Kapsabet. Hosea Changle says greetings and peace of Christ. Thank you so much. I'll be sampling more of those comments as we go. Of course, you remember that also we are running on so many pages, so I'll be also visiting the other pages and sampling those comments that are coming in. And now, going back to Bwana Chumba, you've talked about the theme quite clearly. Now, and Bwana Tija has mentioned to us about the exhibitors. I don't know, I'm sure some of the exhibitors already have confirmed their presence and all that. Yes. Somebody is asking whether maybe there is still chance for exhibitors to come in, then also the categories of exhibitors that you expect to receive.
Okay, thank you very much. As I said, or rather I would say that there is still enough room for exhibitors. We are already at 150. And I'm sure since yesterday to today, some people are already going there. I've received a call even this morning from a potential exhibitor. So we still need as many exhibitors as possible. Our space is very big. It is wide and far enough to accommodate almost 400 exhibitors. So anybody interested, I would advise anyone to make a courtesy call to the office there at ASK, and you should be in a position to be given a chance to participate in this year's ASK. Yes.
Okay, and the categories of the exhibitors you expect maybe do you have, I know you have different kind of spaces. Maybe it would be nice to mention the different spaces that are available.
Of course, there are several categories. There are those from government stands. There are those, and I think Tom Chuma should be able to bring very strongly, because that is exactly why he's handling as much as the categories part is concerned. But so far so good, I would wish to say that all categories are still open. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. TJ, ball imetupwa kwako. So take us through the categories, because I understand that we have different types of stands and also different sizes of spaces and all that. And if an exhibitor would be watching this, then they would want to know what exactly do we have in each of the categories.
Yeah, you know, now the categories depend with your power. Yeah, kuna those parastatals, you even find structures at the ASK show. And by the way, it's over 100 acres, that farm. So it depends with your power on how much space you want. So the least space should be 10 by 20 around there. This is small for those who want to do small time exhibitions. And then we have those bigger ones, including you have your own big structure and you can paint it there. And these ones mostly it's parastatals that do that. But they remember guys like in Central Bank of Kenya will be there. Kenya Bureau of Standards are there.
Naonanga wako mpaka na ofisi huko ndani.
Wako mpaka na ofisi. And their stand is so big and they want to do. KRA will be there with its own issues there. And whatever they are showcasing, they want to reach out to wananchi. So you find we have these categories of those big parastatals which take larger space. National Cereals and Produce Board, Moi University. And then we have those ones with, in fact, you can even have your own tent, because depending on the space. Now remember, space also values with where you want to put your items. Because you find when you enter through gates, the main gates, it is where you get people a lot. So most people scramble for that space because it is where wananchi will come through. That's the first thing they'll see before they are confused by anything else who comes.
Before they are, okay, we've talked about the masses. I don't know if kuna mtu hapa alienda show wakati wa shule. Wakati people usually say wakati show ilikuwa show, you know, before COVID and all that came. Tulikuwa tunakuwa na very huge show, thousands of people walking in the streets of the ASK showground, a lot of activity, sound systems all over. So you do actually want to be in a nice space, a place mahali mtu akikuona na kupata vizuri.
Anakupata, yeah. So yeah, definitely like well, the ones doing business or those who want their products showcased always want to be mahali penye utaonekana hivi mtu akiingia kwa gate. Like you've said, when people were like, they would see so many things, but you realize that things like discos and children playgrounds, they are put on the other upper side uko juu, so that once you are done with this you can now go for entertainment, ndio usisumbue hao wengine na kelele. So those spaces, when you pick your space, you pick a space where you know it is worth what you are going to display. So kama utaki kelele, you have to start from the gate. But remember, watu kama hao walianza as early as late January. So like you had asked Mr. Chumba if we still have space. There is space, but sasa utaanza kupata as you keep moving towards the noise where the children now love. But also huko sasa ndio watu wa sweets and biscuits and soda wanapenda, because that's the fun fair. So if you don't want noise, then get your kibanda mapema. I think by Friday, most of the spaces will be up. However, even up to Monday, people usually get the stalls. And na wengi wao wanaleta tents, wana set mahali penye wameona bado kuna space. So the spaces just depend on how much you have, and you negotiating with the manager, because she's the one who is concerned with the allocating of the space. And I think before we conclude, we'll be able to give her telephone number.
Yeah.
Because she's the one to be reached out in terms of plots allocation, especially right now. Just also to let you know that most of the places, I think by now we have water in the whole of the showground. And by the way, imaji, watu walangas, msianze kutuambia hapa vile show imefika maji sasa imepotea. Tafadhali lipeni Eldoret.
Mesema imaji ni yenu.
We have a borehole drilled. Hata tukompaka na kisima, by the hiyo kisima hata tuliwacha kutumia cause borehole inatoa maji 24/7. And you see with the borehole you don't restrict, hatuna meter.
So you people are self-sustainable when it comes to water.
Very sustainable. Tumeka tanks kila mahali kwa showground, including hata ukiingia kwa gate there's a water tank. So maji kipotea kwenu during the show, tafadhali
don't blame.
Lipa bill.
Yeah, you
Anyway, on to other issues. Now let's talk about the issues of, first of all, so many people would be there. Another aspect that somebody would ask about is the security factor, and I'll give a chance to Bwana Chumba to expound on that.
Okay, that is a very good question. You realize that security is very paramount. So at ASK, we have the police station for that short a while, you see. We have the Wakulima police station, where the officer commanding station, that is the OCS for Langas, is stationed there for that particular period. Secondly, the county enforcement officers will always be deployed at the ASK during all that particular time. Thirdly, we are in partnership with some private firms, security firms. There are those we have given positions to, chance to do the business of providing security with us, and they are up to task. So far so good. The promise I can give you is that ASK is a very safe place to be. It is the safest place to be. Come to ASK and you'll get all your securities for those showcasing your livestock and every other aspect. It is to its maximum.
It is to its maximum.
Yes.
Okay, this is the Morning Glory Show, coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography, 14 minutes past the hour, 8 a.m. With me in studio are two gentlemen. Wanatueleza jinsi, what to expect actually in the show that is starting in a week's time. TJ there saying that if you are an exhibitor, then this is the right time actually to make sure that you have a stand there, because some of the people did it in January. So usiachwe nyuma. Nonetheless, there is still space for everyone to exhibit at the national show. Now, let's talk about dressing for a little bit. If you need to dress to be addressed, then consider walking into D-Square as a fashion house. But then if you need to learn to dress people so that they can be addressed, then also there is D-Square School of Fashion Design for you. Walk into D-Square School of Fashion Design today. They are situated at the 4th floor of KTS building, Eldoret town, and you'd be able to learn how to dress people to be addressed. Now, Bwana TJ, I'll be coming back to you. Apart from being a marketer, this guy is usually always at the arena. First of all, how's the experience all these years? I've seen you at the arena for some time now. You've mentored a lot of people to, including myself, to be at the arena. Tell us about your experience before we even go to these years and what to expect at the arena this year.
Okay, thank you. Nyewe umetoka mbali. By that you are awesome.
Sasa tumekuja hapa kwa ibishana.
This guy amechange majina.
No, nimechange mara mbili tu.
But very nice has stood out as the best brand of all.
Yes.
You know, mimi namjanga kama awesome entertainment.
Yes.
Wakale wakasema awesome ni nini kama Osama.
What is awesome?
So they say Osama. Unajua ungeenda mahali sherehe wanasema Osama.
So najua hizo ni zote, hata sijui ulianza na gani kabla ya awesome.
Wewe acha.
And the
used to come with the kina Kevo.
Yeah, Walawi actually. Yeah.
And
I used to be the Walawi the band.
Yes, the band.
And the name suggests, your name suggests peace. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, Kali, I think in Kalenjin means peace. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these guys, and you know, that arena by the way, when I was starting, I just felt, okay, let me just be there. Because I saw that is where I can fit. Although I can fit in every department. By the in ASK, if I talk about the arena, you can be pushed to any other department.
Yeah.
Like Chumba wasn't in the protocol department.
Yes.
Now he's there, although still in the marketing. So some of us are doubling marketing and arena at the same time. And next time you'll find me in security. So it will keep changing depending on membership. Okay, depending on what the chairman will say. By the way, we have a lady, but we call her chairman, because that is the constitution of the ASK. So Madam Susan is the chairman.
She's the chairman.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
chairman.
So the next time she comes here, niacha story ya chairperson.
Why muita
Yes.
chairperson? Ni
Chairman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hata mwenye atakwambia.
We'll talk about the membership in a few minutes.
So arena now, I think the fact of just running around, that place is so hectic, and running around, especially when the guests come, is not a joke. Especially jioni. And the worst part is when the president is coming. Hey!
The president is coming. Where is your MC?
That time unasukumwa ni kama hujui chenye unafanya. Like you watch, like even day one, even as from Monday, when this, like the president is going to come. So you'll have the KDF coming in and they want to mark the field. Because the KDF usually have, total bands is 9 armed forces bands. And the 3, mostly Navy, Army, and Air Force, when the president comes, they have to be there. So normally, before the show starts, they have to come and prepare the field because you never know. The president might come. So they'll be there shouting orders. Them, they don't care who you are. They shout, nataka hii, weka hii. It's usually so hectic. That's the time yani you feel, I shouldn't be here.
Unasema hii kazi
Kwani lazima kwani kesho you decide okay acha nikae, but at the same time remember nobody else will come there now to assist you, ni wewe na hao. So you have to struggle, line up program vizuri and make sure everything is set. Now getting the people to entertain is usually another challenging issue because we usually have so many applications from all over. Kila mtu anataka entertain, including people from Nairobi, wengine wame-entertain mpaka India. Ukiangalia barua hivyo unasema, hey, where do I start from?
Portfolio si portfolio.
Na kuambia, hey, sasa, you find even traditional groups, because you have the categories of those cultural groups. Any group ya mama na wazee, they are together. And then we have institutions, like the choirs from Eldoret National Polytechnic, University of Eldoret, MTRH, they all want to perform. And then you come, sasa tuko na wasanii. Gospel artists kwanza ndio wengi zaidi. They all want to perform there. And then we have those doing poems. And then we have those doing, lakini acrobats si wengi. Acrobats walienda happy by the way.
Buddha. Unajua acrobats na kudance ni same thing.
Fupa
inakuanga flexible hivi kidogo.
Ule mwenye analala alafu tractor inampita juu. Those ones. We used to have that power, the power guy. Alikuwa mostly alienda, I think Equity kuwafanyia. Tractor ingempita juu.
Na siku hizi alienda wapi yule jamaa?
That's the question. Watoto wa siku hizi hawajui kupitisha, hata na bike peke yake hawezi pitisha.
Wewe unataka wewe watoto wenyewe.
Wakati wewe.
Watoto wa siku hizi.
Unataka tukue na casualties.
We used to have those guys and they would pull a truck na meno kuvuta. So those things are gone. So nowadays we just have choirs, but the applications at the arena are usually so many, so we have to sit down, and then also the budget determines. Pia huwezi toka Nairobi and then I give you something small and you regret later. So it's usually challenging, but I think the most interesting part for people that they have never seen is usually the bands, during the band displays of the different. So normally for us being a national show, we usually send 5 bands, which sisi wenyewe we are assured that the 5 bands, mostly administration police, GSU, Kenya Police, NYS, and Kenya Prisons, are usually with us every time. If the president comes, then we'll have Kenya Wildlife Service, Kenya Navy, Kenya Army, and Kenya Air Force joining. So total of 9 bands, including Kenya Wildlife. So on Monday and Tuesday, hizo ndo zitakuwa mostly. I swear, ukisikia tu president hakuji.
Una relax kidogo.
They'll all disappear. Utaona KDF the following day. Asubuhi unaamka mko peke yenu kwa uwanja. But the 5 will be there. However, just to tell people that definitely we are expecting the president. Because this is the first show. This is his county. So being the patron of ASK, we are expecting him to be. I swear during Kibaki's time he came once. Na ilikuwa during his re-election. And that was the only president we came. Me in my almost 15 years nimekuwa huko, I've just seen one president. Na hiyo siku nilikimbizwa. Kuvaa nayo tai, lazima uvae koti, sijui kae aje. It's hectic, but Kibaki came once. And then Uhuru Kenyatta didn't appear. So you're expecting his
So you never saw him.
I swear I swear I'm expecting President William Ruto. Mheshimiwa, kindly if you're watching us, please kuja.
Ita make sure mfikia. I know how to say it, tamtumia. So angalia kamera vizuri.
Okay,
na utengeze Kiingereza.
Yeah, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto.
Acha kucheka TJ.
Hiyo sasa.
Ebu wacha tulia kwanza, I'll give you a chance to appeal to the president. So take some time, ujirecollect, then I'll give you a chance. Anyway, going back to Bwana Chumba, you realize that for us to have an organized show, there's a lot that goes around, and there's a lot that people don't understand. You're
Yes.
talking about the arena, you're talking about the marketing. How do these committees come together, and how do you manage to make sure that there's coordination among all these committees?
Very good. First and foremost, I would like to say that Tom Juma is in several committees. I started in a small committee of marketing, but specifically on article. There's a catalog we started. So I did an article. I joined the larger committee of marketing. Later on, I also joined that is protocol team. Now there are several teams, there are several committees within ASK under the chairmanship of Madam Susan Seron. Now these committees.
I love the thing chairmanship.
Yes. So these committees are, if I may name some few. First and foremost, we have the gate committee. When you enter the showground, there's the gate committee chaired by one Sir George. And that committee takes care of the securities and the entries and checks on the entry positions of people who enter the show, those exhibiting, the show goers, the students, you see. And then there's now the committee of marketing, which is now very active. I'm already in the field doing marketing to ensure that we get as many people as possible coming to the show. There's now the third committee on arena that my brother is involved, and one bento. So those are the people who are in charge of the publicity, speaking, kind of entertainment, and that kind of stuff. Now there's the other committee of catering. You realize that food is very essential as much as our energies and anything else is concerned. So there's a committee on protocol. That one handles the VIPs to ensure that when somebody enters the pavilion, the person has a badge that conforms with himself. I mean, ukienda huko showground unapewa badge ambayo we mwenyewe umeshalipia. I don't expect you to come with an executive badge of 8,500 and you are issued with a membership of maybe 3,000, you see. So there's that particular committee of protocol. That committee should also be able to address sitting arrangements of our guests. And then the committee will now liaise with this one of TJ, now the arena team, that the people who participated in our lunches and that kind of thing should be given chance to speak on the other side or to perform on the other side. The president can talk to the people during lunch hour and then later on address people at the arena. So these committees work hand in hand. There's the dairy committee, dairy, and we call it farm and dairy. Farm and dairy that is led by a chairman by the name Monica.
A chairman by the name
Monica,
And
yes.
TJ, you'll have to explain this.
The protocol is led by a chairman by the name Caroline Kirore. So now the farm and dairy, that one strictly speaks on itself, farm and dairy. And then there's the livestock now. You realize that, my friend, something very interesting, Mr. Kali, about ASK is that it has really nurtured very potential farmers, dairy farmers in Uasin Gishu. I remember long time ago, before there was somebody called Mr. Kirwa, Willie Kirwa, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Willie Kirwa started a small farmer with very few dairy cows. Right now he's a giant. He's a breeder. He's a trainer. That is courtesy of Eldoret ASK. So that is under the committee on that is on livestock, chaired by one Madam Beatrice Kiptalam, who is now the chairman. You see.
Wow.
Yes. So there are several committees, and all these committees work hand in hand. We meet weekly. We give reports. We share one chairmanship. We chair one secretary from the national office. There's a madam called Ruth. We also have our branch manager, Madam Wanzao. That is Jennifer Wanzao. So we are well coordinated. We are friends. We are a family. We have our own welfare. We are like brothers and sisters. So when we talk of these committees, we work hand in hand. I may not be more closer to exactly what my other brothers are saying, but I have an hint of what DJ is doing, and DJ has an hint on what I'm doing on the other side of protocol. Now, I was in marketing the other day. When it comes to the material day, I switched to protocol. Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Quite interesting.
And of course, remember the chairman, the head now, vice wake. We don't call them vice chairman. We call
What do you call them?
Chief steward.
Chief steward.
Chief stewards.
Yes.
Anyway, TJ, tell me about this. Tell me about this.
You know, every organization has a constitution.
Yeah. This thing of chairmanship and everything. Then at the end of it all, ufanye ile appeal ya president. Kama uko serious.
Serious. We've done the invitations, by the way. The invitations are done by the CEO. You know, ASK has a CEO at the national headquarters, Mr. Mudoka, and he's the one who does now the official invite to the president. So lazima, being a patron, lazima atamu invite. Mimi hata nikisema maybe hata niona, but I'm sure our CEO is doing that, and the national chair. By the national chair pia national chairman ni chairman. Hapa tuko very.
Now, tell me about this thing ya chairman before I forget.
It's in the constitution. Mi na kuona sana unataka wanaume nao waitwe chair lady. Wewe.
Unajua Eldoret tumekuwa na mambo mingi, so you need to understand these things.
Okay.
So many things. It's actually in the constitution. They said anyone who comes in, whether it's a male or female, will just be called chairman.
Now this constitution ya lini?
Hiyo ni constitution ya ASK.
Okay, when was it promulgated? And also, one thing to note, of course, this is a society, right?
Yeah.
And you realize that we live in a world where right now people are very cautious when it comes to gender equity and all that. And how you handle that?
Sisi tuko.
Ninyi ndo mko.
I mean, hatuna shida na. In fact, many people get confused. Me, personally, it confused me for several years before nilikuja kuzoea. And uzuri ni kwamba before then we used to have men as chairmen, so haiko kwa shida sana until when Madam Susan came in. Hapo ndio sasa tulichanganyikiwa. Even media wakikuja kufanya reports up to today, they still doubt and say hapana, I think alidanganya. Kwa hiyo interview sio chair, so they report as chairman again because they think she lied or she didn't know she was saying it. But then the reality is it's actually in the ASK constitution that anyone who takes over that position will still be called chairman. So all the ladies heading those different departments are chairmen until when the constitution will be changed. So for now, hatuna la ziada, ni kusema tu ma chairman, tuendelee hivyo hivyo. Our dear ladies, they are doing well.
Anyway.
Okay, maybe.
We're coming, okay, before I will be coming back to you. But then before we come back to you, unajua naweza shtukia bana kazi dawa ya Afrika imeisha. Anyway, so of course this particular broadcast is coming live from Dawi Africa Photography, and anytime you have an event, not only in Eldoret but then within the whole region. Sisi tumekanyaga hadi Mombasa bwana TJ kwenda kupiga kazi. So if you have any kind of work that you need documentation in terms of camera work, in terms of production of videos and all that, consider working with Dawi Africa Photography, and in conjunction with Very Nice Media. Then we shall also be coming into the streets to make sure that we get you those good stories, those nice stories. So we'd actually be covering for you. Tunataka tuingie pale tupate stories that actually may not end up in the mainstream media. Because as you know, there is a revolution that the social media is the main thing. You'd imagine 1 year ago, 2 years ago, if I called TJ to come to a social media, then it would look funny. But then it is happening. So it is a revolution that is coming down, and we shall be bringing you some of the most comprehensive stories from the streets. Nonetheless, now going back to Bonachumba, there is something about entry. Of course, it's usually chaotic at some point. I don't know how prepared you are this year to make sure that maybe you have a smooth entry, especially in terms of privileges. Unapata mtu labda akona a certain privilege na anataka kuenjoy a different privilege. Maybe take us through some of the privileges that you enjoy for every fee that you pay.
Okay, first and foremost, let me go back to maybe the entry, the much that people pay. It's 250 shillings per adult, and then if you go singly. And then if you are in a group, say maybe for students, for a single student is 200, an adult is 250. Or okay. And then you realize kwamba maybe you're going as a team, say for cooperatives or that kind of stuff, you pay 200 shillings for adults. And that is special parties. If you are students, you pay 150 shillings if you are many, maybe a school or that kind of thing. And then there are those people who went as members. They are single members, like our case. I and TJ, we are eligible to we can pay full member of 3,000 shillings. That one has two stickers for the car, and that kind of thing. And then if it's a single member, it's one sticker for the car. Yes. And then the young farmers, hawa ni wenye ulikuwa mnaongelea, wanafunzi, that kind of thing. Young farmers,
wakulima wadogo.
You pay 400 shillings. You pay 400 shillings. And then there's executive membership. This is basically for these big companies like Kenya Power and Lighting. There is KPC, that is Kenya. There is Kenya Power, you know. There is Kenya Forest Service. There is Kenya Prisons. You pay 8,500. And those one has several lists of those people who are entering inside should be given more chance than if you pay singly. Yes. And then you've talked of privileges. You know, there is always a very general perception that showground could be a free place to go. There is always a value for the kind of payment you make. Ukilipa pesa kidogo, utakula kidogo. Ukilipa mingi, utakula mingi. You see, you realize what I'm saying is that advantages comes with the value. So we want to encourage our people to be trained after paying a fee. Yes, you get training at the ASK, you get that kind of excitement. Unajua kuna furaha nyingi huko, kuna ile merry go round. I'm told, and I don't know whether DJ told me, aliniambia you came to show yourself long time ago, ukiwa mdogo ukakuja ukasungushwa kidogo hivi.
Nimetoka mbali.
So we want to encourage our people to pay, you know, you pay something that has more value, like maybe membership. Yes, and in this membership, there's a way you graduate up to becoming a committee member. You know, there's also different ways of being a member of ASK. TJ should take us through that kind of committee member, the other membership, up to becoming a chairman, becoming, how does somebody become a chief steward? That is the vice of the chairman. I think we should be able, because
chairperson, then
labda usungumze kwa Kiswahili useme mwenyekiti.
Mwenyekiti,
yes.
Inakuwa rahisi.
Yes.
No wonder TJ loves Swahili.
Yes.
Exactly. It makes work easier.
So I think one thing I would like to mention is that we've had several chairmen of these shows who are men, and they have gone ahead to join the national office. You know, there's always the national part of it. Yes, so there's a way you graduate. Like he said he's been at the showground for 15 years. So after around 5 years, you can qualify to be a member of a committee. And the placements of committees depends on your performance. Like for example, me, I strongly belong to the part of the literature, you know, maybe the catalog, the marketing. Yes, and TJ, because of his other interest and interest on trainings on other fields, is at the arena. So I don't expect anybody to take TJ from arena maybe to livestock or catering. He will float. Yes, definitely on matters, especially on matters food.
No, we take TJ to the place where chakula takwasa kukula.
Yes. So
eat everything.
yes, and then he also plays. You know, the media people also plays in the address of the chairman should be in a position to get exactly what is happening. So address yake wakati chief guest anapokuwa inakuwa kwamba yeye sasa anazungumza kwa ule uwanja na anasema mambo ambayo yanaenda pamoja na theme and also the real life situation around. And let me tell you this, that on first, the case that we are having on first, so that maybe you can, on first we are expecting the CPA route of the MP for cases to be our guest. Now that is the area MP. You know, ASK falls under cases constituency. And then on Tuesday, we are expecting His Excellency the Governor of Kishu, Jonathan B, aka Chelilim. I think Chelilim is an official name. Yeah. Koti moja should be. And then on third, Koti moja ilisha na campaign. And then the third day now, we call it official opening. We expect Dr. Ruto mwenyewe. Yes, WS.
The President of Kenya.
Yes. And then the last day, we expect the MD for KFDA. Yes, and by the way, KFDA is a leading exhibitor at the showground. And MAPI, the other day, they came very strongly in our meetings, and they have quite a good range of products, which I want, during our coverage, we should also be in a position to market them and speak good of those gentlemen, yes, from the KFDA. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Of course, you would realize that I thought this was going to take a very short time. In fact, nikiuliza teachers, will it even take 1 hour? It's true. But I realized that actually it's a very interesting thing. It is bigger than people see it out here. The coordination that goes in to make sure that we achieve a national show is actually so much. And at some point, I would really wish we had somebody from the county to give us how they plan to make sure that we reap from the large number of corporates and people coming into this particular town. If there's somebody listening to us from the Wasigisho County, I think we need
agriculture.
Yeah, we need to understand how much it's agriculture and trade, because we really need to make sure that we maximize from the large number of people that will be attending the show, and how well will we market our county to people who don't come from this county, because I should realize that we get a lot of people from other towns coming into this town. Yeah. And you'd want to look at hospitality, how are our lodgings looking like, and our guest houses and our Airbnbs. There's actually a new baby in the hospitality industry called Airbnb. TJ seems to understand better than me.
Yeah, it's booming business actually. It's booming.
Yeah, and so we'd want to really understand all this, but then because we are coming to the tail part of this particular interview, then I would just want TJ to maybe take us through now. How different will this show be from the others that we've seen before? Why would I attend the 2023 ASK National Show at Eldoret?
Okay, just first of all, thank you, Kalia. Just to add to Mr. Chumba is that once you have the membership, that membership year 2000, you will go to all the shows you want in that year with that membership. For that 1 year, you are done. And as you graduate, the membership, if you go for membership more than 2 years, you are now eligible for elections. About 2-3 years, you can now be elected as a committee member and head a committee. And after that, you keep climbing slowly and slowly. As the years go by, the more you keep purchasing your membership, the more you have the chances of getting to the next position. That is how you end up at the chief steward area, because chief steward means you're a vice. It simply means you can easily become the chair. And once you become the chair, once you're done as a branch chair, now you're supposed to move to the national side. So it's just upon you to play around with your membership. So those asking for membership, na hakuna ticket za bure. I know maybe there are those maybe on social media saying, hey, nitafutie ticket.
Nishaona ka inbox kameingia ambia tija alete ticket bana. There's also a nice one here. Yeah. There's a guy called Kosgea Rapchesir. Yeye kusema huku. Ameniambia tell tija I'm coming. Oh. Ni kama biashara imeivana mahali. Mimi yangu itakuwa tu commission. Tafadhali.
Mwambie aende inbox. Tutafute.
Ni kama kuna biashara yetu imeiva mahali.
And but they very nice will be coming. So shikilia hao kabisa.
Make sure amenishika koti mapema.
Ameshike koti. They'll be coming there. So make sure mko now. So those who want to, you have just a few days between now and Friday to let me know if you want to perform, if you want to come. Or this is our time your performance to shamaliza. But if you just want to come to attend, pia unaweza niambia, because we also want to encourage the young people to attend the shows. So one thing that is going to be outstanding for this, remember the theme has changed. So we are not going to have the same things we've been having the other years, especially in terms of technology and innovation. Everything has changed. Technology has changed. So definitely there's going to be changes in terms of smart climate. So if you come there, there's a lot to learn. And by the way, from the exhibitors, I have seen zile vitu wako nazo, because we've been going around to check from some of them. The things they have are exclusive. Where?
You're saying this year's show itakuwa
this time round is no joke. Yeah. If you really want to learn, awe kuja.
Ukisikia Mwafrika amefanya kulikuwa na wengine mama.
And you can even the spirit in you, Kali, I can see the spirit in you speaks a lot about this year's ASK. Yes. Yeah. So kuna watu wako na, they have a lot of expectations. Watu wana, yes. And then you see there is a new person in town. There is a new leader in town. That is the president. Initially people used to call him DP. Now he's the president of the Republic of Kenya. And he's from here. And he's an exhibitor. I want to tell you for free that the president is exhibiting anaonyesha kuku zake huko. Inaitwa Yegen Farm.
Oh. So we would be coming to see the president's chicken.
Yes. And I have made an appeal through his manager that the president, when it comes to the showground, he has to visit the farm, Yegen Farm. Atuonyeshe hii kuku ambayo wamesema a chicken seller amekuwa president. Ashike kabisa kuku, and he has to speak about it. And there's a lot of photos associated with him. Yeah, 90s, late 90s, early 2000. Nataka sasa 2023 ashike kuku aseme hii kuku yangu, this is what has made me to be a real hustler mpaka nimekuwa president of the Republic of Kenya. So there's a serious thing on it. Kila mtu kabisa, hata teacher mwenyewe juzi ukisikia akiongea huko akisema okay drum major hiyo nini I mention kuku mahali.
TJ umesikia? If it were Kanu days, it would be sure that the chicken would be there. Nonetheless, TJ.
By the way, I'm expecting during the livestock parade, and I think Mr. Chumba, hiyo pia tumesema iko.
Yes.
Apart from ng'ombe peke yake zile zinapita kubwa. Kondoo, mbuzi, tunataka kuku pia ziparade zikipita.
And actually I ever went to a festival where kuku zilikuwa unajua ile cock fighting. I don't know, you need to look for those guys. Wakuja tufanya display ya.
Hizi zikipigana kuisha.
Yes, also TJ, kuna kwa livestock also. There are two strange livestocks we are expecting. First and foremost, kuna bees, nyuki. Nyuki ni livestock. Yes, so ukienda livestock department utapata nyuki. Utapata jamaa anaitwa Saboi, amepeleka misinga na iko na nyuki, livestock. Kuna pia ETTI College wanaleta nini, nguruwe. Nguruwe is becoming a serious cash ng'ombe ambaye nini, mnyama ambaye analeta pesa kwa wingi. Yes, so we encourage our people to think outside the box or even think without the box. Si lazima ufanye dairy peke yake. You can go for beekeeping ama pig keeping, you know. Yes, hata kuna wengine wataleta some strange, you know, but good and to the context as far as our constitution is concerned. Kuna vitu lazima we exhibit. Mambo ya technology. Utapata juzi nimeambia kuna baiskeli inakimbia sana kuliko baiskeli zingine. Sijui hiyo baiskeli itakuwa inakimbia side gani, arena ama huyu. So expect a lot big and very exciting. You see, unlike any other shows. And then what has made these shows to be more exciting is to realize kwamba sisi tunapendwa. Right, we are here. Kalia, I think the last time I saw you are doing something good on politicians. And I've been told a lot by friends about you. Now, niko hapa kwako. It's a very nice place to be. Your eloquence, you know, your sincerity on matters, experience, inaonyesha kwamba show this time round marketing yake iko juu kuliko last year. Remember last year tulikuwa tunapanda lori. This time round we are behind the mics. And it's a way to go. And then on the other part of the calendar, the ASK calendar, and I think teacher has already mentioned, tumeanza mwaka hii kwenda hiyo kanisa ya hapa juu inaitwa Coca-Cola PCA, Presbyterian Church of East Africa. Initially tulikuwa tumeenda ASK Church, and later on tulikuwa tunaanza na Reformed Church of East Africa, tukakuja Anglican Church, and now tunaenda, and there's a possibility tunaenda Jeshi la Wokovu maybe the next year, or Quakers. You know, Quakers is Friends Church. So we
just to make sure that you all the faiths also feel there.
And my excitement, Kali and Juma, is that sioni tukifika huko ile kama band hiyo inaitwa nini, Jeshi la Wokovu.
Jeshi la Wokovu.
Yes.
Ungependa usikie hiyo
kabisa. And they have been very good to us. Wamekuwa wakitupea band, you know, and that kind of thing. So I want to make a very special appeal that on 26th tukiwa pale Ayub Kinywa, hata wewe mwenyewe, you are a good fundraiser. I remember the other time you fundraised for the county government wakati kulikuwa na droughts. Jaribu pia ku reach out to as many people as possible, tusaidike, tupate kwamba huko katika hiyo kanisa tusaidie wale ambao hawajabahatika katika jamii. ili wasaidike, kwa sababu wanasema baraka inakuanzia wewe na utakuwa baraka kwa wengine. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now, TJ, we can go on and on, but then time is a limiting factor. So, so allow me to ask you for your closing remarks, TJ. Your parting shot.
Parting shot is thank you very nice for hosting us, and Dawi Africa for the great work. And mine is just to say karibu kwa maonyesho ya ASK 2023, maonyesho ya kitaifa kuanzia tarehe 1 hadi tarehe 4 mwezi wa 3. That is next week.
So na umerealize February imesonga mbio.
Imesonga. Actually it is inaisha lini very soon. So kuanzia tarehe 1, expect to see you there. Let us come and learn. This is our show. There's no one else who is coming to make it. Wakulima wote wacheni kusema show ni ya watoto. Show si ya watoto. Watoto wanakuja tu kujienjoy. Show ni ya wakulima na wote ambao wanataka kujifunza. Those who want to learn anything about agriculture and trade and everything, just come to the SK show. All right. Thank you. See you there.
Okay, thank you. Your parting shot, Mwanachumba.
Okay, yangu ni kukaribisha showground. First and foremost, nimekuambia sasa I'm changing from marketing naenda protocol. So karibu lunch ya tarehe 1.
Wewe buda. TJ wouldn't give me that. Trust me. Asante sana.
Okay, karibu sana and kindly may God bless you.
Asante.
You've done us more good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Asante sana.
And the whole crew,
TJ,
of course.
najua TJ ashapeana nini closing remarks yake, lakini vile umenikaribisha lunch anawashwa. Now, on the same note then, make sure mkunywe chai before mtoke hapa. Unajua hivi tu lazima tupangane.
Sawa sawa.
Anyway, this has been the Morning Glory Show coming live from Dawi Africa Photography. Remember that this is the most comprehensive talk show in Kenya today. And actually, tomorrow, of course, being Wednesday, will be the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Wednesday. We have a partnership with Top Hill Hospital to always make sure that you improve your health education. And nonetheless, later you'll be seeing the poster of the topic that we'll be tackling tomorrow. With that, my name is MC Kalia, and until tomorrow, have a beautiful day.